He stood at the altar like a man who believed the world revolved around him. My father, smiling as if he owned the moment, as if the light itself bowed to his command. My sister, the golden child, shimmered in her designer gown, soaking in every glance, every whisper of admiration. And then there was me, the disappointment, the one ordered to attend under threat. "Either you come," he'd said over the phone, "or I cut your tuition payments for good." He said it like a man certain of his power, like a man who didn't know his grip had already slipped. So I came, dressed simply, calmly, and with an envelope that would end his reign of control in less than 10 minutes. When I was younger, I used to worship him. He was the kind of father who taught lessons with a belt and called it love. The kind who said tears were weakness and obedience was respect. My sister learned early how to play his game. Smiles, flattery, perfect grades presented like offerings. I tried that too. It never worked. He once told me I'd never amount to anything without his money. That line stuck with me. It became the soundtrack to my determination. In college, he funded my first semester, then dangled the rest like bait. "Keep your GPA above 3.8, he said, "or I'm done paying." He thought control was love. I thought freedom was survival. So I learned quietly, applied for scholarships behind his back, picked up freelance work at night. By the second year, I was completely independent. By the third, I had offers from companies that paid me more than he'd ever earned in a year. But I didn't tell him, not yet. Some truths deserve timing. The betrayal wasn't his alone. It was hers too, my sister, my supposed confidant. When my mother died, I thought we'd grown closer. I remember her promising, "We have to look out for each other now." But months later, she was parroting his words, repeating his insults with her own flavor of cruelty. "You should be grateful he even pays your tuition," she'd said once, not knowing I'd already stopped taking his money. And now here she was, marrying into another family just like his. Wealthy, shallow, perfectly groomed for appearances. She called me last week to brag. "Dad says you should wear something appropriate this time. He doesn't want you embarrassing him again." That was the moment I decided she'd see the truth too. The plan was simple, precise. Months of preparation disguised as silence. I'd waited for this wedding, a stage large enough for his pride to stand tall and high enough for his fall to be public. Inside the envelope I carried wasn't just paper. It was proof, a collection of documents, statements, and letters showing the other life he'd built in the shadows. His business trips to Dubai weren't business. They were visits to a second family, a woman and a son he'd been supporting for 8 years. He used our late mother's insurance money to pay for their house, their schooling, their vacations. And now the balance sheet of his lies was about to be paid in full. The ceremony began. Soft music, glittering lights, my father's smile, the same cold, rehearsed grin I'd known all my life. I waited until after the vows, until the moment when silence fell before applause. That's when I walked forward, steady, expressionless. He looked startled but amused. "Now's not the time," he muttered through his teeth. I handed him the envelope. "It's time enough." He hesitated, sensing the weight inside. The crowd's attention drifted our way. My sister frowned, whispering something to him. He opened it. At first confusion, then recognition, then panic. The kind that starts behind the eyes before it reaches the hands. The photos fell out first. Him with the woman, the boy, the house deed in his name. Then the bank transfers, the insurance withdrawals, his breath caught. The priest's voice stuttered mid-sentence. I didn't need to say a word. The guests did it for me. Murmurs spread like fire. His new in-laws' faces shifted from delight to disgust. My sister's expression cracked. He tried to speak, but nothing came out. For the first time in my life, he looked small, human, weak. I leaned in close enough for only him to hear. "You taught me control, remember? Consider this a lesson in losing it." Then I stepped back, calm, detached. Watched the chaos unfold. By the time I left, the wedding had dissolved into shouting. My sister was crying. His fiance's father demanded an explanation. Cameras flashed. Secrets spilled, I didn't look back. Outside, the air felt different, cleaner somehow. My phone buzzed with a notification. My company's latest project had just hit another milestone, 6 figures before 24, my name engraved on the plaque in the lobby. For years, I dreamed of him being proud of me. Now I realized his pride was never worth earning. It was meant to be broken. Later that night, I received a message from him. Just one line. "You ruined me." I stared at it for a while before replying. "No, Dad, you did that yourself. I just made sure everyone saw it." I deleted the message and blocked his number. For the first time in years, I didn't feel angry or hurt, just quiet. The kind of quiet that comes after a storm, when the debris has settled and you finally see what's left standing. Me and the truth, both untouchable.